Hello and welcome back to another episode of Into the 99, where we've got 99 cards, because Commander's number one. I am Daniel, one of your hosts. I've got both Sherman and Slothy with me. Sherman and Slothy are all here together. Slothy lives. How are you guys doing?
Doing good. Slothy, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. I'm very, very excited to be back. Missed you guys. But yeah, doing pretty well. How are you doing, Dan?
Good. We, for everyone hearing this episode, we'll be at face-to-face. Well, I guess we were at face-to-face yesterday. So if you can time travel, come and play more games with us. But other than that, no, good. We should be doing a lot of fun stuff. So no, I'm good. Been a good week. I was on a bit of a road trip. Tired. Need my work truck back so I can sleep in it like a baby. That's basically all that's going on with me. How about you? What's been new and exciting? It's been ages since we've heard from you, Slothy.
Yeah, so I got quite sick and then was moving, as you might see if you're watching the video. But got everything all sorted out now. It's been a very hectic couple weeks. Yeah. But thankfully now it's time to breathe a little bit.
True. Yeah. We have a huge episode to get into. We did the very long Commander spoilers episode, and now we've got the Modern Horizons 3. So let's crack right into these and kind of just see what we're getting here. Let's jump into Slothy, you take the first one away. Why not?
Sure. The first one we've got here is one that I'm actually quite excited for. A Johnny Nacatl Pariah. It's 1 and a white for a legendary creature cat warrior. It's a 1/2. When a Johnny enters the battlefield, create a 2/1 cat warrior creature token. And whenever one or more cats you control die, you may exile a Johnny, then return to the battlefield transformed under his owner's control. And it flips into a Johnny Nacatl Avenger, which is a 3 loyalty planeswalker with a +2 to put a +1/+1 counter on each cat you control. A 0 ability to create a 2/1 cat warrior creature token, and when you do, if you control a red permanent other than a Johnny, he deals damage equal to the number of creatures you control to any target. And his -4 is each opponent chooses an artifact, creature, enchantment, and planeswalker from among the non-land permanents they control, then sacrifices the rest.
Fun.
It's gross.
This one looks super fun.
Honestly, pretty disgusting.
Yeah. Oh yeah. If you flip it, yeah, it's disgusting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a rough one. Boros cats is an interesting archetype.
Mm-hmm.
If it was Boros dogs, it would be a bark type. Let's go!
Oh, good Lord. Oh, Lord.
Sherman, do you want to take the next one?
Maybe. As long as we can not talk about that joke anymore. We have Arna, Kennard, Sky Captain. I probably said that wrong, but that's besides the point. It's a 2 and a white and a blue and a black. Legendary creature, Human Knight. It is a 4/4, has flying lifelink. It has ward, discard a card. Nasty. Whenever a modified creature you control attacks, double the number of each kind of counter on it. Then for each non-token permanent attached to it, create a token that's a copy of that permanent attached to that creature. This is strong.
This is really strong.
It's a pretty silly one.
Yeah, I like this one.
This one gets out of hand really quickly.
Once again, I see this as a commander card, not a modern staple or modern card.
Yeah. We were saying at the beginning of the commander episode, this wasn't a modern set. It's not built for modern players. It's just commander. It's just a commander set for commanders. There's no way around that. This is like this is too slow to be playing in like a modern 4-off deck. But again, the fact that it's for each permanent attached, right? The fact that you can get a Helm of the Host and get another Helm of the Host and then just get another Helm of the Host, which will get more Helm of the Hosts, is kind of dirty. It's pretty gross.
Really is. Yeah, I feel like this set is very modern themed in name only.
Oh, right. It's a rough one for sure. There's some bangers. I'm going to get this out of the way so I don't have to repeat it for the rest of it. I really don't like the profile arts in nearly every one of these. I liked it in Nadu, and I've yet to see something else I don't like. So first off, I don't like the Arna one already. I think it's not wonderful compared to the other artwork. But again, that's just me. Some people like the profile artworks. I'm going to just get it out of the way because I see one for Ashling here as well. And I don't like it either because that's who I am as a person. But we have...
You also didn't like any of them in, what was it, Commander Masters, right?
No, I'm not... Again, there's a card art style for everyone. There's nothing wrong with what you do or don't like for cards. This just isn't for me. I don't enjoy. The Nadu one, though, is so silly. It looks ridiculous. I don't know if you've seen that one yet, Slothy. When we get to it, you're going to laugh. But other than that, yeah. I'll get back to that. So Ashling is Flame Dancer. 2 double red for a 4/4 elemental shaman. You don't lose unspent red mana as phases end. I'm in love with that. We've got a mono red kind of Omnath. That's great. Mage Craft. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery, discard a card, then draw a card. If this is the second time it's resolved this turn, deals 2 damage to each opponent and each creature they control. If it's the third time, you add 4 mana. I think that's got a ton of potential.
That does.
This one seems more interesting than the original Ashling. I'll say that.
I'm gonna add this as a source here. Give me 1 second. I'm just gonna get our pop-up screen because there's so many things that are going to be popping back and forth. I'm just going to get this right out of the way. So someone can take the next one here, and I will make it so. Why can't I find this?
So the next one we have is Birthing Ritual. For 1 in the green, it is an enchantment. At the beginning of your end step, if you control a creature, look at the top 7 cards of your library. Easy. Then you may sacrifice a creature. Okay? If you do, you may put a creature card with mana value X or less from among those cards onto the battlefield, where X is 1 plus the sacrifice creature's mana value. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Interesting. I don't mind this card. The power is definitely there. Top 7 is a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like Birthing Pot, but only top 7.
I love this card. And I really like the alternate art for it as well. It seems like it's going to be pretty nice in something like maybe Voja.
Yeah. It's an interesting concept. Like, it's interesting because, like, it's X+1, so, like, even your tokens can be, like, bringing a 1-drop, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, it's nice. For 2 mana, it's a low cost, so, yeah.
Well, and in any decks that want to sacrifice stuff, you're going to benefit, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
So, I think you're looking pretty good there. I think Slothy wanted the next one of the reprints.
Yeah. We've got a Brea reprint. It looks like Lady Gaga.
It is the Lady Gaga Brea, yeah.
Awesome. I love it. I'm going to be picking up at least one of them. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Brea, white, blue, black, red for a 4/4 legendary artifact creature human. When Brea enters the battlefield, create 2 1/1 blue Thopter artifact creature tokens with flying. You can pay 2 to sacrifice 2 artifacts and choose 1. Brea deals 3 damage to target player or planeswalker. Target creature gets -4/-4 until end of turn, or you gain 5 life. I've actually got a bit of a funny story about Brea. Back last year, when we went to the face-to-face in Edmonton, on the way back, my car was having some trouble, so I had to pull over for a little while. And was waiting for my fiance's dad to get there to give us a hand. And I just sat there and built Brea for the entire duration while I was waiting. It's kind of pouring rain.
Oh yeah, that was fun, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was the wipers broke, right?
Yeah.
Good times. I like brewing like that. We get an Eladamri Korvek doll. 1 double green for a 3/3 elf warrior. You look at the top card of your library anytime. You can cast creatures from the top of your library, always good ability. And silly, you can pay 1 green, tap it, tap 2 untapped creatures you control. Reveal a card from your hand or the top card of your library. If you reveal a creature card this way, put it onto the battlefield. Activate only during your turn. So an Elvish Piper with kind of extra steps, but from the command zone, and can be from the top of your library. So if you do any of the tutors that go to top of deck, you can just bam them right into play with a tap. Pretty good.
Not bad. Yeah, pretty good. You can abuse it. I can see people abusing this, so not bad.
Yeah, but the thing is, too, you also need those other 2 creatures, so you can't just only go big baddies. You have to have the 2 creatures. I don't know. It seems playable. I'm sure there'll be some big stompy lists.
If you're playing elves, who cares?
Yeah, right?
Exactly.
The next card, though, is something that was spoiled where everyone kind of went crazy. That is Emrakul, the World Anew. For 12 mana, legendary creature Eldrazi, it is a 12/12. When you cast this spell, gain control of all creatures target player controls. Flying, protection from spells, and from permanents that were cast this turn. When Emrakul, the World Anew, leaves the battlefield, sacrifice all creatures you control. It has Madness, pay 6 colorless mana.
It's how popular the Tron stuff is. That's actually playable for other formats.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a pretty crazy Madness ability of just like Madness off a 12/12 that takes everyone's creatures.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like the new Titans are pretty pushed.
Yeah.
100%.
Everyone doesn't like the Kozilek. When we get to the Kozilek, I'll talk about it, but everyone doesn't like it. They're like, oh, it's not very good. I'm like, it's great. It's phenomenal.
Banging.
Yeah, right? Slothy, please.
Yeah. This is another one that I'm quite excited for. We've got Grist Voracious Larva. Single green for a 1/2 legendary creature insect with Death Touch. Whenever a Grist or another creature enters the battlefield under your control, if it entered from the graveyard or you cast it from the graveyard, you may pay green. If you do, exile Grist, then return to the battlefield transformed under its owner's control, and then it turns into Grist the Plague Swarm. 3 mana for a legendary planeswalker. +1, create a 1/1 black and green insect creature token, then mill 2 cards. Put a Death Touch counter on the token if a black card was milled this way. You can pay 2 to destroy target artifact or enchantment. And it's -6, is for each creature card in your graveyard, create a token that's a copy of it, except it's a 1/1 black and green insect.
Yeah.
It seems like a fun card.
Mm-hmm.
The token that's a copy of it is a really, really fun one. I really want that for that Koram card.
Ooh.
Again,
Yeah.
that's self-mill. I really, really like this theme of these like really, really low drop planeswalkers for the flip ones. I liked the flip ones.
Yeah, I really, really like the flip ones that they've got here as well.
Yeah. We have Harrogast, the Erupting Nullkite. It is a 9 mana 6/6 Eldrazi dragon with Emerge 6 double red. You can cast it by sacking a creature and paying the Emerge cost reduced by that creature's mana value. When you cast a spell, you can exile your hand. If you do, draw 3 cards. Flying, each creature spell you cost has Emerge, and the Emerge cost is equal to its mana cost. Again, not a bad sacrifice kind of one, but not something I'm super interested in. It seems a little expensive to me, but
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 9 mana is certainly a lot.
I know you want to be emerging it, but still emerge 8, and then you've got to sacrifice things. Although, like I said, you can throw away creatures. There's lots of sack decks that care.
That's true.
We have a Kalia reprint with like 3 new artworks, none of which I like personally. I just like the old Kalia ones. Oh, sorry. Let me take this one too. I really wanted this one. This is Kozilek, the one that everyone says sucks. And literally so many people have told me it sucks. They've messaged me on Instagram, been like, you're wrong. This is a trash card. The comments were like, it's bad. It's not. So it's Kozilek, the Broken Reality. 9 mana for a 9/9. Split Kozilek's abilities up any way you want in this 9 mana and tell me they're not great cards. So we've got a 9/9 body on a 9 mana creature. That's fair. When you cast a spell, up to 2 target players each manifest 2 cards from their hand. So we've got the ability to get rid of 4 cards in opponent's hands, which is obnoxious. For each card manifested this way, you draw a card. So we're getting a 4 draw on this cast, so a 9/9 and 4 draw at 9. Other colorless creatures you control get +3/+2. So if we're late game, we've got a bunch of mana in hand. We dump down 2 lands into play. That's giving us, again, we're drawing for a 9/9. We've got a 5/4, 2 5/4 creatures. We're at 19 power at 9 mana. Everyone's like, oh, it's pretty weak. I'm like, are you crazy?
This card goes silly with Vihon.
Yeah.
Because then the treasures would be what? They're initially 3/3s.
Yeah, they'd be 5. 6
5s.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really excited to put this into I really liked the pre-con that was the upside down cards, the new morph.
Oh, yeah.
Pre-con. And this goes perfectly in that. Dump these down, manifest the 2 morph cards, flip them up. Like the Kozilek is great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sorry to jump in and interrupt there, Sherman. Please, you're next.
It's all good. The next one we have is a Necro Dominance for triple black. Legendary enchantment. You skip your draw step, and at the beginning of your end step, you may pay an amount of life. If you do, draw that many cards. Your maximum hand size is 5. If a card or token would be put into your graveyard from anywhere, exile it instead. So this is like a watered down Necropotence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still strong though. Still powerful. Don't get me wrong.
What's crazy is that the next card is not in the deck that it should have been in. Absolutely bonkers to me.
Yeah, we've got.
Yeah, please take it away.
Sure. We've got Nethergoyf. Single black for a star, +1 star, Lurgoyf. Nethergoyf's power is equal to the number of card types among cards in your graveyard, and its toughness is equal to that number +1. And it has escape for 2 and a black, and exile any number of other cards from your graveyard with 4 or more card types among them.
We're making a Lurgoyf commander deck. Couldn't possibly put the new Lurgoyf in the commander deck. That would be nuts.
How would they sell packs?
Yeah, and then this one's like right now at like $60 or something like that too.
Is it really?
Right. Well, it's like a Tarmogoyf as a 1-drop, right? So
that's true.
Yeah,
pretty good. Tarmogoyf's been traditionally pretty good, and they're like, what if we made it black and for 1 mana? Couldn't see how that could go bad. We have Ocelot Pride, which is another extremely pushed card. It's 1 mana for a 1/1 cat with first strike, lifelink, and ascend. These are great stats on it. At the beginning of your end step, if you gain life this turn, you create a 1/1 cat creature token. Awesome. Then if you have the city's blessing, for each token you control that entered the battlefield this turn, you create a token that's a copy of it.
That's sick.
I like that.
It's a it's an extremely powerful card. There's no way around it. It's pretty good if you've got anyone who's doing your typical shenanigans of all windfall with a smothering tithes out, and then
Yeah.
double.
It is not hard to hit the city's blessing.
Yeah.
No, it's definitely not. And gaining life is easy. The fact, I think what really, really kills is the fact that if you have the city's blessing, for each token that's entered the battlefield, you create a token that's a copy of it. Now that's what pushes this a lot.
Again, it's an extremely powerful 1-drop.
Yeah. Okay, the next one we have is Phage, Titan of Fire's Fury. For 1 red white, legendary creature Elder Giant, 6/6. When it enters the battlefield, sacrifice it unless it is escaped. When it enters the battlefield or attacks, it deals 3 damage to any target and you gain 3 life, and has the escape cost of 2 red and 2 white, and you exile 5 other cards from your graveyard.
Seems too costly.
I don't know how I feel about this one.
Yeah, I think it's too costly.
Yeah.
I didn't really like any of the giant cycle. Uro was fun to play as like a food chain commander, but again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like this one is an enabler for other stuff.
We'll be right back.
Ever thought modern video games should be more interesting? At the Gaming Blender, we take randomized genres, mechanics, and make a new game every episode.
I've added permadeath.
We have a survival game of a hardcore simulation, which could be House Flipper, and with the permadeath of XCOM. And that all has to be an action adventure.
Yes.
Oh dear.
Yes.
And sometimes it doesn't quite work.
And you have a construction off over the course of the narrative.
A construction off. The way we can do this is that we ditch your idea entirely. Check out the Gaming Blender on all your favourite podcast platforms now.
Yeah, I just don't know about it. Like, again, an enters, dies. It just seems like a lot. To me, too many workarounds. My brain can't figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We've got a Phyrexian Tower reprint. Tap for a colorless or sack a creature and tap it to add 2 black. Then we've got Ral Monsoon Mage. 1 and a red for a 1/3 legendary human wizard. Instant and sorceries you spells you cast cost 1 less. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell during your turn, flip a coin. If you lose the flip, Ral Monsoon Mage deals 1 damage to you. If you win, you may exile Ral, and if you do, return to the battlefield transformed. And he will transform into Ral Leyline Prodigy, a 2 loyalty planeswalker. When it enters the battlefield with an additional loyalty counter on him for each instant and sorcery spell you've cast this turn. +1 until your next turn. Instant sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less. -2. Ral deals 2 damage divided as you choose among 1 or 2 permanents. Draw a card if you control blue permanent other than Ral. And -8, exile the top 8 cards of your library. You may cast instant and sorcery spells from among them this turn without paying their mana cost.
Honestly, I think very good.
Yeah, I really like this one.
I think all the flip planeswalkers are being really underrated right now.
Yeah.
Again, that's people play Barrel a lot. Barrel is already a really good card. This is just, is it Barrel? Well, in the reduction sense, at least.
Yeah.
I think Recruit of the Gods a reprint, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we got a reprint of that. We have a Shadow of the Second Sun. which is cool. 4 double blue, enchant player. At the beginning of enchanted player's post-combat main phase, there's an additional beginning phase after this, which is an end step happens after an added untap, upkeep, and draw. Pretty decent. People play 6 and second sunlots, yeah.
Yeah. So it's not bad. For 6 mana, yeah, not bad.
Yeah.
Alright, so we got Sorin of House Markov. Legendary creature, human noble, 1/4. It costs 1 in black. Sorry about that. Has lifelink extort. At the beginning of your post-combat main phase, if you gain 3 or more life this turn, exile Sorin. Then return him to the battlefield transformed under his owner's control. When you do, you have Sorin Ravenous Neonate. Comes in with 3 loyalty, has extort, +2, you create a food token. For a -1, Sorin deals damage equal to the amount of life you've gained this turn to any target. And it has a -6, gain control of target creature. It becomes a vampire in addition to its other types. Put a lifelink counter on it if you control a white permanent other than that creature or Sorin.
Honestly, pretty good. I think it's a good card.
It's not bad.
I really like how all these flip planeswalkers have added benefits if you control
something else.
Something else as well.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was going to say that makes playing these cards more fun.
Mm-hmm.
So
more something to kind of reach towards.
Yeah.
I think that -1 ability is going to be a one shot to a lot of people.
Yes.
Anything that doubles your life, right? What's the white beacon of immortality? Maybe double target player's life total. So I go up to 40. I -1 blast you.
Yeah, and
it's like with was it the reservoir?
Yeah, exactly, like an Aether Flux.
Yeah. Or you know what? Actually, you know what's be funny? If you have was it Wall of Blood, where you pay a life and it gets a +1/+1 counter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you just keep on doing that until you reach a certain level. Then was it Oketra's Last Resort or
where your life total goes back up? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it goes back to 40.
Yeah, for 3, and then again you blast someone for 2. I think all these are pretty good. Tameo is also pretty strong. Tameo Inquisitive Student. 1 blue for a 0/3 flyer. When Tameo attacks, you investigate, which is a great ability. And again, a 0/3 flyer, it's very easy to say I'm attacking with a 0/3, no one cares. When you draw your 3rd card in a turn, exile Tameo, then return her to the battlefield, transformed under control. And this would be I think this is a green one, right? This is, all these are 2 color, yeah. So this is a Simic one. The transformed it comes in as a 2 loyalty planeswalker, Tameo Seasoned Scholar. +2 until end of your turn. Whenever a creature attacks you or a planeswalker you control, it gets -1/0. Not horrible. -3, you return target instant or sorcery from your graveyard to your hand. If it's a green, add 1 mana of any color. Again, pretty decent. And -7, draw cards equal to half the number of cards in your library. Rounded up, you get an emblem with you have no max hand size. So it's not horrible.
No,
not bad. Not horrible. Not bad.
Very, very easy to flip because you can just brainstorm, right? One brainstorm is going to flip this Tameo over, and then you can start getting that plus up really fast.
Yeah. Next up here, we've got Ugin's Binding. 2 in a blue. It's got Devoid. It's an instant. Return target non-land permanent you don't control to its owner's hand. Whenever you cast a color spell with mana value 7 or greater, you may exile Ugin's Binding from your graveyard. When you do, return each non-land permanent you don't control to its owner's hand. I think I know how Dan feels about this one.
Hey, babe, new Cycryph just dropped. Pretty gross, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't care for this.
I don't like it's again, the same mode, the same instant speed. Whenever at least you have to cast a colorless spell with mana 7 or greater to do it, so it's not as. But I don't like it.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I feel how everyone knows I feel. I'll take the next one so you can have a good one, Sherman. We've got Ugin's Labyrinth. It's got Imprint. When it enters, you can exile a colorless card with mana value 7 or greater. Tap, add colorless. If a card is exiled with it, add 2 colorless instead. Tap, return the exiled card to its owner's hand. It's all right.
Not bad.
Again, it's specific to Eldrazi.
Yeah, 100%.
So,
I haven't taken a huge deep look at the precons, but I assume this one's not in it.
No. No, of course not. We got to buy lots. The artwork on it's at least cool. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the artwork's...
Oh, it's Mark Poole who did that one. Nice. All right, Sherman, take us away with that trash card that is this.
Yeah. We have Ulamog the Defiler for 10 mana. Legendary creature Eldrazi, 7/7. When you cast this spell, target opponent exiles half their library rounded up. Has ward, sacrifice 2 permanents. When Ulamog enters the battlefield with a Ulamog enters the battlefield with a number of +1/+1 counters on it, equal to the greatest mana value among cards in exile. Ulamog also has Annihilator X, where X is the number of +1/+1 counters on it. This is stupid.
It just seems, every part of it seems inherently very unfun.
Yeah, 100%. I am not a fan of this.
Trying to remove it is sack 2 permanents. It's got like Annihilator. Realistically, how most people build their deck, this is coming in with a minimum of Annihilator 5 on a 7/7, and it's going to get 5/1/1 counters. So like 13/13 or 12/12. Math's hard.
Yeah. Annihilator, everything is gone now.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. I like the older Titans, but this one's rough. Again, it's inarguable that this is not pushed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, granted, like the cast trigger, like exile half the library is brutal, but you know what? In all honesty, I wouldn't even cast it. I'd just reanimate it or something like that because I don't care.
Again, being able to just put 1/1 counters on it. There's so many decks that 1/1 counters matter. Put this in an Atraxa deck.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. Sorry.
Sorry, I was just going to say, it also doesn't say that it has to be exiled with that ability, too, for the +1/+1 counters. So if you've got something out with a path to exile or whatever, you'll be just fine.
Exactly, which is why I wouldn't care about casting this. I would find a way to reanimate it or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wouldn't care. So I would, discard it or whatever into, let's say I play black because it has the most reanimate. Okay, fine, and I combine it with red or something like that. Either way, I find a way to discard it, go to the graveyard, I reanimate it, bring it back. Okay, sure, I don't get the cast trigger where you mill half your library. Whoop-de-doo. The fact that it has ward 2 to sacrifice 2 permanents, and then there's so many ways to put a +1/+1 counters on it. This is just stupid. It is not a fun card. I think this was a bad design.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I agree.
If they didn't have the Annihilator, it would be more fair. But once again, or just make it blanket Annihilator 1 or 2 or something like that. That'd be more fair.
Yeah. Gross.
Moving on here, we've got Abstruse Appropriation. 2 white and a black for a devoid instant. Exile target non-land permanent. You may cast that card as long as it remains exiled. You may spend colorless mana as over mana of any color to cast it.
Again, very pushed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's we already play exile target non-land permanents at this mana value. Now I can also just cast them
now you can have them.
Right. We have an Aether Revolt. 2 double red. It has Revolt as long as a permanent you control left the battlefield this turn. If a source you control would deal non-combat damage to an opponent or permanent, it deals that much +2. We've seen a lot of decks that care about that stuff. And whenever you get an energy, 1 or more energy counters, it deals that much damage to any target. Again, I talked a little bit about it. Slothy, you weren't here for that commander stuff, but I just don't care about the energy stuff really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something Sherman was telling me before we started recording this one, was that the energy one was just kind of there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once again, if you want a commander with energy, just play the Fallout one.
Yeah, exactly. The Liberty one was better. I think that's the one that has I've said it in 2 episodes now, so it's got to be.
Yeah, it's just way better. I feel it's way better. So, anyways, next card we have here is Amphibian Downpour for 2 and a blue. It's an enchantment aura. It has flash. It has storm. Enchant creature. Enchant creature loses all abilities and is a blue frog creature with base power and toughness 1/1. This is something I do like.
Mm-hmm.
It's rough.
This is fun.
It is rough. This one is rough, but the flash storm is insane.
If you're popping off, sometimes it's nice to be kept in check a little.
Absolutely.
I like this one. It's strong.
Mm-hmm. I'll get these next two out of the way here.
Sure.
We've got Archway of Innovation. It is a land. Enters the battlefield tapped unless you control an island. You can tap it for blue. You can pay blue and tap it to have the next spell you cast this turn have Improvise.
Decent.
All right.
Yeah. Then we've got the Arena of Glory. Also a land. Enters the battlefield tapped unless you control a mountain. You can tap it for red or tap red and tap it to exert Arena of Glory and add 2 red. If that mana is spent on a creature spell, it gains haste until end of turn.
Not horrible.
Yeah.
I like the Hazard Arena, personally.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, right? Ooh, even in the other artwork, you can really see it. We have Argent Deus. 1 and a white. It enters with 2 oil counters on it. Whenever 2 or more creatures attack, put an oil counter on it. Pay 2, so not even ones that you control. Pay 2, remove 2 oil counters from it. Exile another target non-land permanent. Its controller draws 2 cards. A fairly decent card.
Yeah.
I like that. Like you said, it doesn't matter who attacks, just as long as 2 or more creatures attack.
It's pretty solid removal to be sitting there. The fact that it already has 2 oil counters on it coming in is great. And a very political card, right? You can say, like, I've got to get rid of this, but like at least I'll get you some draw. You can get your own things with it to get you some draw. I like it.
Yeah, nice and versatile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got Fetch Land reprints again, Bloodstained Mire, blah, 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 Branching Evolution reprint, blah, blah, blah.
Next one is, I don't even know how to say it, like Chithorian Nightmare for 1 and a black. Enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, you get 3 energy. Pay X energy. Sacrifice a creature. Return the nightmare to its owner's hand. Return target creature card with mana value X from your graveyard to the battlefield. Activate only as a sorcery. No, don't care.
It's kind of like Recurring Nightmare with extra steps, which is pretty good. So like for like low value creatures, you can loop this pretty easy.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not horrible. The middle artwork is really cool.
Yeah, I was just about to say I want that one on a playmat or something.
That would be sick.
That is.
I can see you like looping things with like 0 mana cost, like Ornithopter and all that stuff, because you just pay 0 energy. Mm-hmm. You sacrifice another creature and you just keep on looping it.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, like, yeah, because you can and then you have like, let's say like a Memnite or a Phyrexian Altar. You can keep on looping that and go infinite. Okay, never mind. This is
it's usable.
You can go infinite easily.
Then you've got your Blood Artist.
Blood Artist, report cut, throw triggers, all that jazz. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So there's one card can make you go infinite. Okay, you know what? I take it back. This is a strong card. This is stupid. They should ban this.
Well, Recurring Nightmare is banned for a reason, right? So again, I think people are going to use it as combo pieces. I'm excited to see what they do with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Next one we've got here is Crabomination.
Hail, Crabomination.
Hail. It's 4 double black for a 5/5 crab demon. Emerge from artifact, 5 double black. When Crabomination enters the battlefield, target opponent exiles the top card of their library, a card at random from their graveyard, and a card at random from their hand. You may cast a spell from among cards exiled this way without paying its mana cost.
It's pretty sick.
That is really sick.
Huh.
Gaunty bait.
Good lord.
I like it. We got a Cursed Mirror reprint, a Deserted Temple reprint. We have Detective's Phoenix. 2 and a red for a 2/2 Phoenix with Bestow as 1 red, collect evidence 6, so pay exile cards with 6. Great. I didn't like the collect evidence mechanic. I thought it was terrible.
Yeah.
But then it has Flying Haste. Enchanted creature gets 2/2 Flying Haste. You can cast it from your graveyard using its Bestow ability. I think it's pretty mid.
Yeah.
I can see it definitely being played in like Modern Pioneer or something like that, but in Commander,
yeah.
Next card is Devourer of Destiny. I think that's a new card.
Yep.
5 and 2 colorless. Creature Eldrazi 6/6. You may reveal this card from your hand, from your opening hand. If you do, at the beginning of your first upkeep, look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may put one of those cards back on top of your library, exile the rest. When you cast a spell, exile target permanent that's 1 or more colors.
I could see this being used just as like a deck fixing thing of like, to exile top 4, you're trying to look for a combo piece to put on top.
But that's only at the very beginning of first upkeep.
I don't mean for commander and stuff. Like I mean in like a 60 card format, run 4 of to try and cultivate that hand so that you get that you get that draw that you need to pop off with your combo, right? I can't see this being really useful in commander outside of Eldrazi decks.
Mm-hmm. True, but still 7 mana in that's still a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm not a big fan.
For commander, I think it's not usable. Well, again, unless you're playing Eldrazi. Maybe in artifact decks, though. If you're running just raw artifacts and you have a commander that's making colorless token kind of things, then sure, right? Like it's...
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Next up here, we've got Disruptor Flute. 2 mana for an artifact with flash. When it enters the battlefield, choose a card name. Spells with the chosen name cost 3 more to cast, and activated abilities or sources with the chosen name can't be activated unless they are mana abilities.
Decent stacks piece.
Yeah.
Interesting. Huh.
I like the artwork on this next one. It's pretty cool. The Dreamtide Whale. 2 and a blue for a 7/5 with Vanishing 2. It enters with 2 time counters on the beginning of your upkeep. You remove 1. Whenever a player casts their second spell each turn, proliferate.
That's a fun card.
Mm-hmm.
I like that a lot. The things that give me extra proliferate for other people going off, I can keep my giant 7/5 whale around if people are. Yeah, I like it.
Mm-hmm.
That is a fun creative card, and like you said, artwork looks fantastic. I really like this.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of this.
This is something I might actually pick up myself. Huh?
Who did this one? Ron Spears.
Yeah.
Interesting. I like it. Okay, we got the next card here is Echoes of Eternity for 3 and triple colorless. So, Kindred Enchantment, Eldrazi. If a triggered ability of a colorless spell you control or another colorless permanent you control triggers, that ability triggers an additional time. Whenever you cast a colorless spell, copy it. You may choose new targets for the copy. This is sick.
That is really, really sick.
Great for artifact decks, doubling up our Panharmonicon. A little expensive to run only for that, especially, but artifact decks are going to love this.
Yeah.
The artwork reminds me of Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, the hands coming up and trying to grab at Link.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh.
Next up, we've got the Eldrazi Linebreaker. 1 colorless and a red for a 3/3 Eldrazi with Devoid. Trample, and at the beginning of combat on your turn, target creature you control gains haste and +X/+0 until end of turn, where X is the number of Eldrazi you control.
Ha!
It's okay. Not great.
Yeah. It's not bad.
The reprints of the emeralds, of the medallions, are good. They are good artwork. I can't complain.
Yeah, that full art emerald medallion is gorgeous.
I saw some of them in person in foil. They pop off pretty good. They're pretty good. I'll give you guys that.
Maybe I'll have to take a look for those next weekend.
Oh, trust me, you don't want to unless you want to spend money. We've got the Emperor of Bones, 1 and a black. It's a skeleton noble, which is cool. 2/2. At the beginning of combat on your turn, exile up to 1 target card from a graveyard. Awesome. 1 and a black, adapt 2, and whenever 1 or more 1/1 counters are put on Emperor of Bones, put a creature card exiled with Emperor of Bones onto the battlefield under your control with a finality counter on it. It gains haste. Sack it the next end step. Honestly, criminal it's not legendary.
Oh, it would be a fun legendary, that's for sure. It'd be a fun commander.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Oh, let's see. We have Esther's Invocation. That's a reprint.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Next one is Fanatic of Ronus for 1 and a green. Creature, Snake Druid, 1/4. Tap it to add a red. Oh, sorry, add a green. Bloody hell. It has Ferocious. So you can tap it to add 4 green. Activate only if you control a creature with power 4 or greater. And it has Eternalized for 2 and 2 green.
Honestly, I think phenomenal.
Yeah.
That I do enjoy it.
I mean, being able to Eternalize and immediately hit the Ferocious.
Yeah. Didn't even think about that.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. We have some of the most pushed cards in the set. Let's jump right into them. Flare of Cultivation. 1 double green. I think this was Slothy's to read, but yeah, it is Slothy's. You go ahead, please.
Sure. Flare of Cultivation, 1 double green for a sorcery. You may sacrifice a non-token green creature rather than pay the spell's mana cost. Search your library for up to 2 basic land cards, reveal them, put one onto the battlefield tapped, the other into your hand, then shuffle. As much as I agree that these are extremely pushed, I love that.
They're great. They're undoubtedly great, and they're fun, but my problem is that they're just, there's no reason to run Cultivate when you could run this, right? And 100%. Cultivate, for example, is a great card, right? And like I always say that the C and CEDH is for consistency, right? Not competitive, right? So another Cultivate, another chance to mana fix. The same with the next one we get to, Flare of Denial. 1 double blue, you can sack a non-token blue creature rather than pay its cost, counter target spell, right? Cancel is already played in a bunch of decks, right? So now we just have a second cancel that we can possibly get off for free.
Yeah.
It's stupid. And then we have after that the Flare of Duplication. For 1 double red, you may sacrifice a non-token red creature rather than pay for this spell's mana cost. Copy target instant or sorcery spell. You may choose new copies for the copy. This Flare cycle, man. We're only 3 colors in.
Mm-hmm.
The next one we've got is Flare of Fortitude. 2 double white for an instant. You may sacrifice a non-token white creature instead of paying the spell's mana cost, and until end of turn, your life total can't change, and permanents you control gain hexproof and indestructible.
So strong.
Pretty good.
It's incredible.
All these are going to be staples.
Again, this is like you can't win card, right? I sack you think I'm tapped out and you go for your like win and everything like that, and I just stop you. Can't change my life total, can't target my stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's a better Teferi's Protection.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. The free cast it makes it hard to threat assess, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The final one is Flare of Malice. 2 double black, you can sack a non-token black creature, blah, blah, blah. Each opponent sacrifices a creature or planeswalker with the greatest mana value among creatures and planeswalkers they control.
That's more fair.
That one's, I would say, the least painful of all of them, but still rough.
Yeah.
I think, that's the least rough. The other 4 are really rough.
Mm-hmm.
Hands down.
We've got more Fetch Land, Flooded Strands. We got Flusterstorm reprint.
Okay, we got a Genku Future Shaper for 2 and Azorius, so white and blue. Legendary creature, Moonfolk Wizard, 2/5. Whenever another non-token permanent you control leaves the battlefield, choose one that hasn't been chosen this turn. Create a creature token with those characteristics. So you can either create a 2/2 white fox with vigilance, a 1/2 blue moonfolk with flying, a 1/1 black rat with lifelink, and for 3 and Azorius, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Hey, you know what? This is an interesting commander.
It's a pretty cool blink commander, I think.
Yeah. I like this quite a bit. It's interesting.
Yeah, it definitely seems fun.
I don't hate the profile one. It's not I don't specifically like it, but I don't hate this one. It looks kind of cool. It's half. We're half and half on this one.
Yeah.
Like a Transformer to me.
Yeah, right?
The next card we've got here is Guide of Souls. Single white for a 1/2 human cleric. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you gain a life and get an energy counter. Whenever you attack, you may pay 3 energy counters, and when you do, put 2 +1/+1 counters on a flying creature, and a flying counter, on target attacking creature. It becomes an angel in addition to its other types.
So we have another Soul Sister, but it's not a sister.
Yeah, only for our creatures, but again, very strong.
Yeah.
That is a pretty good ability to buff it up like that.
Mm-hmm.
Again, a 4 of these out in a set where you're playing 4 off. You play 1 creature, get 4 energy counters, 4 life, then you attack, and these become 3/5s or 3/4s.
Yeah,
pretty strong. We have someone had this as a good one. It's not Magus of the Moon, it's Magus of the Island or something like that. But yeah, Harbinger of the Seas. 1 double blue Merfolk Wizard, 2/2 non-basic lands or islands.
I like it.
Yeah,
like a Blood Moon before blue.
Mm-hmm.
Not bad. It's playable. Stacks.
Yeah. Next one we have is Imskir Iron Eater for 6 and a black and a red. Legendary creature Demon. It is a 5/5. It has affinity for artifacts. When Iron Eater enters the battlefield, you draw X cards and you lose X life, where X is half the number of artifacts you control, rounded down. For 3 in a red, you can sacrifice an artifact, and then it deals damage equal to the sacrificed artifact's mana value to any target. That part is nice.
Honestly, this can drop down for 2 mana. A 5/5 for 2 is pretty gross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially, like, once again, with all the artifact tokens that we're having, but the fact that, like, it deals damage equal to the sacrificed artifact mana value to any target is also nice, because now you're not being cheap by sacrificing those tokens.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, it incentivizes you to have a bit more variety.
Yeah. It makes me want to do things like play with, like, Aladdin's lamp. Here's your 10. Whoop.
Then we've got, I think this is a new one, right?
Yep.
We've got Invert Polarity. Double blue and a red for an instant. Choose target spell, then flip a coin. If you win the flip, gain control of that spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. Or for it, sorry. If you lose the flip, counter that spell.
Gross. No downside.
Yeah.
You either can't have it or I have it, and it's not even non-creature. So again, I can go. The fact that you can yoink commanders with this one is rough.
That's hilarious. I didn't think about that.
Oh, that's brutal.
Because it won't change zones, yeah.
Yeah, 50-50 chance.
Yeah, you might just get your commander counter, which, again, I'm happy to do.
Yeah.
Or you might lose your commander to me on a coin flip. Gross.
No, thank you.
Again, look at that jet. Look at that jet medallion artwork. That's nuts.
Oh, wow.
The reprint on that one is sick.
That is awesome.
We got a Kappa Cannoneer reprint as well, which is awesome. We got a Kozilek's Command. X double colorless for a Kindred instant Eldrazi. Choose 2. Target player creates X 0/1 colorless spawns that sack for the mana. Awesome. Target player scries X, then draws a card. Meh. Exile target creature with mana value X or less. Phenomenal. Or exile up to X target cards from graveyards. Pretty good modes.
Not bad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we got a reprint of Kirk's Son of Yawgmoth. Needed. Then we have Kudo, King Among Bears.
I have to pause you for. I've got to pause you for 1 second. Look at the profile picture. Tell me that I'm wrong.
I love that. That's
tell me
amazing.
I'm wrong.
That's
what more is there to say? Look at how good the artwork for Kudo is, and then they're just like,
yeah. Like the profile picture of Kudo is I do not care for. It's so bad.
The profile picture of Kudo does have Aula even mentioned. You should partner them. Aula's consort is the hearth to her fire, the honey to her sting, and the mirror to her splendor. Partner them.
Yeah, you have to partner them.
Play them with partner. That's the for the there's the Pride event right now going on. Yeah, I was gonna just say and that's I was really happy to hear that event because that's just how I play normally. But in the Pride event, you can have any 2 commanders, regardless of if they have partner and stuff, and you could play them as if they do. And you can win a promo. Nobody gives me a promo for playing that. They just say, "Hey, you can't break the rules like that. It's not very fun when you try." But
hey, stop cheating.
Yeah, count that man's deck.
Yeah, he has 2 Evolving Wilds.
Yeah.
If they didn't want you to have 103 cards, they would not put 103 sleeves in the box.
At any point, you can ask your opponent to count their library. I get DQ'd turn 0. No. The math's not mathin'. Anyways, back to Kudo, please.
Okay, Kudo, King Among Bears. For a green and a white. Legendary creature, bear, 2/2. Other creatures have base power and toughness 2/2 and are bears in addition to their other types.
I love this card.
Yeah.
I'm 2 decks deep on this card. I love this card.
Pair Kudo with Elish Norn.
Yeah, you get it. Pride Month.
The original one, of course.
Yeah.
Pride Month. Guys, it's fun. It's for an event. What are you, a bigot? We've got, I'm going to take this one so Slothy can take the next one. It's Monumental Henge. It enters tapped unless you control planes, tap 4 planes, 2 double planes, look at the top 5 cards of the library. You can reveal a historic from it and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom in random order. That's pretty good to dig. All right, Slothy, please take away this silly card.
Yeah. I actually kind of like the profile art on this.
That's what I'm saying, right? This is the one I like. This is the profile one I like.
Okay. I really like that. But we've got Nadu, Winged Wisdom. 1 green and a blue for a 3/4 legendary bird wizard with flying. Creatures you control have, whenever This creature becomes the target of a spell or ability. Reveal the top card of your library. If it's a land card, put it on the battlefield. Otherwise, put it into your hand. And this ability triggers only twice each turn.
Such a broken card.
It's real good.
This is real good.
It's so good.
It's real good.
It's so broken. Like I want to see what happens once this releases and what decks are made, because it's
one of the first cards I've seen in a while that has like potential. Like, we will ban this in Commander.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like once again, like if you want to hear us rant more about it, check out the Nadu like deck tech that Daniel did. I swear I was ranting about this card for half that episode. I do not like. I like the card. I want to build this, but at the same time, I don't want to play this against other people because it's such a broken card.
What was the balanced team thinking?
Yeah, it's stupid.
Yeah, it's a crazy card.
The balance team is just thinking about having this
it has evasion. It has a big butt. It's a 3/4, so it's out of range for lightning bolts and everything. You know, like the only thing that's missing is wards.
Well, the other thing too is if you try and lightning bolt it, you can. I still get my either a land into play untapped, by the way, which is nuts, or like a card to like counter it in hand. Like it's and that triggers. I have a chance for that twice a turn. So you might like, okay, well, I finally have a removal spell. I'll Path to Exile it. And I just like Flusterstorm it because I just drew the Flusterstorm off you targeting. Like it's a rough one.
It is,
yeah,
rough.
Very much so.
Like I was trying to build a deck for it, and like all I had was like things that untapped other stuff. So like Zero Tumbling Sands and all that stuff, right? So I can target my own things and untap it. So like if I had like pingers, like Prodigal Sorcerer and all that stuff, it's it's just stupid. I can ping you, tap to untap my pinger, and then I get like either a land ramp or I get something to go to my hand.
It goes pretty hard.
Yeah, it is so stupid. I decided not to go that route because it just got too strong. But anyways, here I am ranting again about this stupid card.
Sherman, you take Null Drifter, and then we'll go back. Sherman, Slothy, me. We'll get back in order.
All right. So we got Null Drifter. 7 mana. Creature, Eldrazi Elemental. It is a 4/4. When you cast this spell, you draw 2 cards. It has flying, has Annihilator 1, and it has Evoke for 2 and a blue. You may cast this spell for its Evoke cost. If you do, it's sacrificed when it enters the battlefield. So it's just like your regular Null Drifter. Instead, it's a Null Drifter. Ooh, I see what you did there, Wizards.
Yeah. Again, late game. The Annihilator 2's, or the Annihilator's cool. The flying's cool. It's all right.
Yeah.
And we were getting back into order. This is a reprint of Ophiomancer.
Orms is a reprint too.
Orms is a reprint as well. Cool.
Yeah. Cancer card.
We've got Hardy Thrasher. 1 and a red for a 1/4 lizard wizard. Non-creature spells you cast have from exile have Convoke, and at the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, you may discard a card. If you do, exile the top 2 cards of your library, then choose one of them. You may play that card this turn.
It's okay in some archetypes, I think.
I like this card. I like it.
Fair.
Mm-hmm. I like the creature types. It's fun to say.
Yeah, Lizard Wizard. Behold. We have Pearl Ear, Imperial Advisor, 1 double white for a 3/4 Fox Advisor with lifelink. Enchantment spells you cast have affinity for auras, which is an absurd. That's an absurd ability in that. There's a lot of Enchantment Matters decks that really care about that. And whenever you cast an aura that targets a modified permanent you control, draw a card. And like you can't find SRAM anywhere because of how like strong an ability like that where you're drawing is. So this is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is awesome in a lot of decks. Or with a lot of commanders, rather.
Yeah, it's great in the 99 of cards. It's great as like a commander for like a mono white auras card. Like it's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this goes really well with like Zank and the one from Wilds of Eldraine, Elevere.
Yeah. Again, with Light Paws, it's great. It's great in a Tuvasa kind of deck. Phenomenal in that new double all your permanents deck.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Really cool Pearl Medallion reprint. Sherman, please. It's your boy.
Yep. The next one we have is Thelia, Exuberant Shepherd for 1 and a white. Legendary creature dog. It's a 2/2 and has flash. When Philia attacks, exile up to one other target non-land permanent. At the beginning of the next end step, return that card to the battlefield under its own control. If it's entered under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on Philia. I do want to get this card. I do want to build it. So,
yeah, it's cool, and I like Blink Dog.
I have corgis. I like it.
That's fair. I was talking to Kaylin. She wants to get a corgi. She likes dogs. I'm allergic.
You want to borrow my dogs for a bit?
Yeah, exactly. There you go. See if she likes them.
Then I can actually clean my house properly for once. Good Lord, they shit so much.
Fair. We got a polluted Delta reprint. Slothy, please.
Yeah, we've got Power Balance. Double red for an enchantment. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, you may reveal the top card of your library. If you do, you may cast that card without paying its mana cost if the two spells have the same mana value. I really like everything about this card. Its mana cost is great. Its ability's awesome. Its art is beautiful.
All of the artworks on
all
cool.
3 artworks are awesome.
Yeah.
Pretty absurd card. Again, very strong. Very playable.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Primal Prayers is our next one, and I'm in love with the middle artwork of it.
Yes.
It's got a bear on it. You guys understand. Primal Prayers, 2 double green. When it enters, you get 2 energy counters, and again, you may cast creature spells with mana value 3 or less by paying energy rather than their mana cost. If you cast a spell this way, you may cast it as though it had flash, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, that's kind of neat.
But again, who's playing like a green energy matters deck, right?
Mm-hmm.
True.
But the bears are cool.
The artwork in the middle is really, really nice. I will say that.
I wish it was on a better card.
That is fair.
The next card we have here is Psychic Frog for a blue and a black. It's a creature frog. It's a 1/2. Whenever Psychic Frog deals combat damage to a player or planeswalker, draw a card. You can discard a card and you put a +1/+1 counter on the Psychic Frog. Exile 3 cards from your graveyard. Psychic Frog gains flying until end of turn. This seems like a fun card.
I think it's cool.
Like it has a lot of options to do things. It's very interactive. I think this card is well designed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How would you like to take the next one, Mr. Dan?
I was actually just on literally grabbing my phone to write it down because I want to buy it. So that's a good idea. Ripples of Undeath, 1 in a black. Beginning of your pre-combat main phase, mill 3 cards. Then you can pay 1 and 3 life. If you do, you put a card from among those into your hand. Again, going into that Quorum deck.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a fan of that. I'm enjoying seeing self-mill in other colors.
Yeah.
Other than blue.
Yeah, right. It's nice to see the archetype move. That's really what I liked about Strixhaven so much, is it moved common archetypes to another color, right? Like Golgari became like our life game colors, right? Like Orzhov kind of became our what's it called? Our politics, but like friendly politics instead of the annoying ones that Orzhov normally be doing.
Yeah.
Again, Boros like becoming like the reanimator. It was just a very cool shift of things.
Mm-hmm. Strixhaven was such a good set.
Bring me back to the glory days. All right, Slothy, take this away. This profile art, Slothy, it's indefensible.
I think when I build this deck, I am using the profile art just because of how bad it is. It is.
It's pretty bad.
We've got Roshin, Roaring Prophet. 2 red and a green for a 4/4 legendary giant shaman. When Roshin, Roaring Prophet enters the battlefield, mill 6 cards. You may put a card with X in its mana cost from among them into your hand. And you can tap it to reveal any number of cards with X in their mana cost in your hand. Add double colorless for each card revealed this way. Spend this mana only in costs that contain X.
To be honest, I would have loved this. If they had made this Temur like a 3-color, this would have been such a fun commander to build. But again, there's a ton of crazy X spells in those colors.
Yeah.
Oh, so many.
I really like the, Metalworker type ability.
Yep.
That it's got. That's super fun.
The worst thing is that you're going to tap this commander, reveal like 14 cards that have X cost, and then blast me with one of those X cost spells for 28.
Yeah. This is just like Suspend, but it's Suspend. You get to see it before it kills you.
I cast Go to Bed, Daniel.
Yeah.
I cast Nighty Night.
Again, pretty great. Like I said, the the full arts of the medallions, they look so good in foil. They're crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Savine's Reclamation, reprint. Sherman, you have to land with the creature.
Let's just go in order. So Shifting Woodland. So it enters the battlefield tapped unless you control a forest. You can tap it to add a green. Has Delirium for 2 double green. Shifting Woodland becomes a copy of target permanent in your graveyard until end of turn. Activate only if there are 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard. This is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like I like this card. It's very versatile.
Yeah, this one's pretty neat.
Yeah, I'm going to put this in one of the decks. I'm already seeing that there's a combo.
Oh, there's so many combos with this. This is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So many.
We have Shillingengar, Sire of Famine. 3 double black for a 6/6 Elder Demon Legendary. It's got flying. Sack another creature, create a blood token. If you sacked an angel this way, create a number of blood tokens equal to its toughness instead. Okay. And then hybrid Orzhov. Sack 6 blood tokens. Return each creature from your graveyard to the battlefield with a finality counter. They're vampires in addition to their other types. That's a pretty solid ability.
I like this commander.
I really like this commander, yeah.
Orzhov sack built right into it. Reanimate built right into it. It's not limited to once a turn. We can instant speed sack it, instant speed bring them back. This is a good card.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I want to build. I haven't built an Orzhov commander in a while. This might be.
This might be the guy.
Yeah,
I like it. Again, as well, anything that you're doing that's like a shapeshifter, right? Throwing away any shapeshifters is going to have that angel effect to get you to that faster.
Yeah,
seems interesting. Yeah, I'll think about it. But yeah, this seems like a really, really, really fun commander.
I didn't see this card in the spoilers. Slothy, please.
Yeah,
and hang on, not a profile I hate.
Let's go.
Let's go. We got it. We get there.
Yeah, we've got 6. 2 and a green for a 2/4 legendary creature Tree Folk with reach. Whenever 6 attacks, mill 3 cards. You may put a land card from among them into your hand. And as long as it's your turn, non-land permanent cards in your graveyard have retrace.
That's pretty great.
I really like it. And that profile art.
That profile art's pretty great. It's going on a list of cards I'm buying.
Oh, he's even got the little bird in the regular art too.
Let's go. Yeah. That's Kalen. Kalen loves birds. And is a tree.
And is a tree folk.
And is a tree folk. That's funny.
Next one we have is Sowing Mycospawn for 3 and a green. It is a creature Eldrazi Fungus for a 3/3. It has the void, has kicker of 1 and a colorless. When you cast a spell, search your library for a land card, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle. When you cast a spell, if it was kicked, exile target land. Ooh.
That's a great card.
That's really good.
Again, any land right on the battlefield is great. On a 3/3 body's great. And then exile someone's land. Pretty good.
That's really good, yeah.
Yeah, I got no hate on that. Is it me or you for the next one, Slothy?
He did 6 and I did that one. So
let's go. So this card is trash and should not be allowed. Spring card, Nantuko. It's actually extremely pushed and great. It's 1 in the green for an insect monk with bestow, 1 in the green. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 and has landfall. Whenever land enters under your control, you may pay 1 in the green if it's attached to a creature you control. If you do, create a token that's a copy of that creature. And if you didn't create a token this way, you create a 1/1 green insect.
Interesting.
A really, really good way to like double up your Avenger of Zendikar, for instance, in a landfall deck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which is gross.
Oh, interesting. That's
it's pretty good. I'll take the land too. It enters tapped unless you control a swamp. It's by Master's Vault. Tap to add a black and a tap. Target creature you control connives X, where X is the number of creatures that died this turn. Draw X cards, then discard X cards. Put a 1/1 counter on this creature. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
it's an alright card. Not bad.
Then we've got Strix Serenade. A single blue for an instant. Counter target artifact, creature, or planeswalker spell. Its controller creates a 2/2 blue bird creature token with flying.
Strong.
That hurts.
It's really strong, yeah.
That hurts so bad.
Song.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, 1 mana, blow my commander off the board. Ooh, don't like it.
Yeah. That's so strong. artifact, creature, or planeswalker. Like, if they did artifact or planeswalker, I think it would have been better. But the fact they tacked on creature, this is going to be an expensive card.
Yep, creature hurts.
Yeah,
I think you'll like the next one here, Sherman.
Yeah, I was thinking about this one. I'm like, how would I build this? It's the Necro Bloom for 1 and a white, black, green legendary creature plant. It is a 2/7. I love that already. Landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, create a 0/1 green plant creature token. If you control 7 or more lands with different names, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token instead. Land cards in your graveyard have Dredge 2.
What if we made Field of the Dead a commander and gave lands Dredge?
Yeah, this is strong. This is a crazy strong commander.
It's really good. Yeah, worst case you're making plants, best case you're making zombies. It is just Field of the Dead on a commander.
Yeah. You just gotta jump through hoops. And like, you know what? Like, that's the thing. I don't have Field of the Dead because I can never find a bloody card.
True.
Now I can actually play something that is like Field of the Dead.
Right?
Yeah.
This is not hard. This is not hard to do.
No, and
not at all.
Again, you can build this with only land ramp and still have a great deck. No creatures needed, only lands to the battlefield cards.
Yeah. It's kind of reminiscent of was it that Badger one?
Yeah, Greensleeves. That's how I built Greensleeves too. Yes, only land ramp cards, only Badgers. We have Thief of Existence, 1/1 colorless, 1 green for 3/4 Eldrazi with Devoid. When you cast a spell, exile up to 1 target non-creature, non-land permanent opponent controls with mana value 4 or less. If you do, it gains when this leaves the battlefield, target opponent draws a card. That's okay.
Yeah. We've got a Toxic Deluge reprint, got an Urza's Incubator reprint. This is a new card, though. We've got Volatile Storm Drake, 1 and a blue for a 3/2 Drake, with flying, hexproof from activated and triggered abilities. When Volatile Storm Drake enters the battlefield, exchange control of it and target creature an opponent controls. If you do, get 4 energy counters and sacrifice that creature unless you pay an amount of energy equal to its mana value.
Hard to judge.
Yeah.
The Drake's pretty good though, right? So.
Yeah. The artwork is, like, for the full art, phenomenal.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The card itself,
again, it is flying, hexproof from activated and triggered abilities is pretty decent.
Yeah, so but when it enters the battlefield, you can exchange control of it and target creature opponent controls. If you do, you get 4 to energy, and then you sacrifice that creature unless you pay an amount of energy equal to its mana value. So you can't swap it out for something that's like a 12/12, like a 12 mana value.
But think how many commanders. But think how many commanders are a 4 mana that you can take.
That's true. Yeah.
You take my Necro Bloom, which I literally just said I only put land ramp cards in. Well, then I attack you with this 3 mana Drake until I die.
Well, like I said, it's hard to evaluate off the bat. So, I don't know. Like, I'd have to get it and play with it, but I'm not a big fan of the energy mechanic right now, unless you're playing the Fallout precon.
Yep.
Or something like that. But yeah.
I think it's you next, Sherman.
Ooh, perfect. I love this card. It's gonna be Warden Soul Trader for 2 and a black. Creature, zombie, goblin, wizard. It's a 3/3. You pay 1 life, sacrifice another creature. You create a treasure token. This card, I think, is gonna go off.
I think there's definitely some good use for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this card's silly.
I think it's great. You sacrifice a creature, you pay 1 life, whoop-de-doo, you create a treasure. Okay, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I like it. We have Wheel of Potential. 2 and a red. You get 3 energy counters. Then you may pay X energy counters. Each player may exile their hand and draw 7 cards. If X is 7 or more, you may play cards you own exiled this way until the end of your next turn. I would literally never use it for its exile thing. I want to use it as exile my non-existent hand, draw 7 cards.
Yeah.
If everyone exiled their hand.
Oh, and draws X cards, not 7 cards. Okay.
Yeah. So but that's only if you pay the energy into it. So, like, right now, if you pay 0 energy, each player exiles their hands and draws 0 cards.
I know it's they may. They don't have to.
They may.
Oh, that's true. They may.
So it's only energy dependent. It's I don't feel as great about that. I thought that this was like a Wheel of Fortune that I could also then get, and it's not. It's whack.
Yeah, it's not.
Whack. Trash.
Boo.
Next one we've got is White Orchid Phantom. Double white for a 2/2 Spirit Knight with flying first strike. When it enters the battlefield, disrupt 1 target non-basic land. Its controller may search the library for a basic land card, put on the battlefield tapped, and then shuffle.
Great card.
I'm a big fan of this one. I love the full art on that. That reminds me
Why's that
of
full art going so hard?
It reminds me of the full art they did for Grand Abolisher last year.
That's pretty good. Yeah. I think that's actually the end of it. Oh, no, not yet. White of the Reliquary is a reprint. We got more fetch lands. But Sherman, take away the next trash card.
Is Right of the Reliquary a reprint, or you think of Knight of the Reliquary?
I think he's thinking of Knight of the Reliquary.
I am, and I'm wrong. Sherman, please take the one that's not a reprint.
So Right of the Reliquary, that is a black and a green, not to get confused with Knight of the Reliquary, which is, if I remember correctly, a white and a green.
No, it's bad. Yeah. Oh no, it is white and green. You're right. Don't even listen to me right now. I'm off my meds.
Okay, so it's a 2/2 creature zombie knight. It has vigilance. Right of the Reliquary gets +1/+1 for each creature card in your graveyard. You can tap it, sacrifice another creature. Search your library for a land card. Put it onto the battlefield tap, then shuffle.
That's good.
I like that.
It's strong. Like, it's any land, right? So, like, why not?
Might as well.
And it's a sack outlet, right? We're always looking for more sack outlets in that kind of theme.
Mm-hmm.
That's wicked. We have a Winter Moon. 2 mana. Players can't untap more than 1 non-basic land during their untap step. I don't hate this one.
It's solid.
Yeah, very solid. Like, it's
not
nice
fun to play against.
Non-basic. Sorry?
Not fun to play against.
You know what? I play with a lot of basic lands, so I personally don't mind.
Yeah, that's fair.
I've been, because again, I'm out of duels right now. They're all in decks, please. So I've been building a ton with just basics as well.
Okay.
So I'm all right. Unless I'm playing other decks, then I'm not all right. Then I'll cry.
Then we've got a Wooded Foothills reprint, and the final rare we've got is Wrath of the Skies. X double white for sorcery. You get X energy counters. Then you may pay any amount of energy counters. Destroy each artifact, creature, and enchantment with mana value less than or equal to the amount of energy paid this way.
Yeah.
Meh.
It's all right.
It's okay.
I'd rather just pay that X and have it go artifact, creature, and enchantment with X or less.
It's I want to really quickly at the end. Yeah, I hate that card. But before we go, I want to talk about some of these uncommons quickly. There's a lot of new uncommon flip lands right here. These are what I wanted to touch on. That's all. We have flip duels, which are kind of cool. They don't have the dual type, but they flip, like the Blood-Soaked Insight flips to black or green or black or red. That's a pretty great new like little thing of like extra. Like I've always liked the utility of those things, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then we have like things like this Bogart Trawler. It's like 2 black, 2 and a black for a 3/1 goblin. When it enters exile target player's graveyard. That's an effect we like already, right? But it flips over into a Bolt land. As Bogart enters, you may pay 3 life. If you don't, it enters tapped. So again, even more utility, and like putting a pseudo Bolt land into the uncommon slot is very interesting.
Yeah,
I
like that. That's a good idea.
Yeah, like there's again, I think that there's going to be a few cards that are worth going through. Again, getting a Distinguished Conjurer reprint is great. That's another card. Like there's some pretty cool ones, but like again, like if you look at this Drowner of Truth down here, it's a big Eldrazi spell. Sure, when you cast it, if colorless was spent, you create 2 0/1s, blah blah blah. But again, it just taps into this drowned jungle. So late game, we've got a 7/6 that we can drop as a banger, or early game, we just have a tap Simic land. I think that I think that more utility really does help players who are trying to do a bit more of the budget. The Aura one is great. If you guys see this Glasswing Grace.
Yeah, yes. That was so nice.
Yeah, again, a flip to an Orzhov one or an Aura. Like I think that there's some cool ones. It's a shame we don't have time to go through a little bit at the end of these ones because there is often some good ones. But let me know what the best commons and uncommons from the set are. Oh, also, sorry, there is null elemental blast, which is crazy. It's one color, lets you choose one counter target multicolored or destroy target multicolored permanent. That's just a commander destruction on a stick for one colorless mana. It's painful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say that there's one or two in here that I really like in the uncommon slot.
Yeah, the two of them I know, like a lot of people were talking about was Marionette Apprentice.
Yep.
Because that one's just like, phenomenal. So 1 in a black, human artificer 1/2, fabricate 1. Whenever another creature or artifact you control is put in the graveyard from the battlefield, your opponent loses 1 life. So it's like a watered down Marionette Master, but like still it's nice.
Mm-hmm.
But the next card after that, Meltdown, is insane to me. So it's X in a red, a sorcery. Destroy each artifact with mana value X or less.
Yeah, very good.
That's solid.
I love that. I love that so much.
The one after that as well, I love a lot. It's Metastatic Evangel. 1 and a white for 3/1 Phyrexian Human Cleric, and whenever another non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, proliferate.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Strong.
Yeah.
I was way, way, way down in the in some of these other ones. So like a Priest of Titania reprint's very good. But I was looking at this Revitalizing Repast, which is hybrid black or green. Put a 1/1 counter on target creature, gains indestructible on a turn, or it's a flip land for Golgari. That's very good.
Yeah.
And then if you scroll down just a little more, the Sink into Stupor. This 1 double blue, return target spell or non-land permanent opponent controls to its owner's hand and flips into a blue bolt land. Very, very playable card.
That's cool.
Did you see the Dimir flip land?
Which one?
Waterlogged Teachings.
Oh, no.
3 in hybrid Dimir.
I didn't get down there yet.
They're reprinting the Shrieking Drake. That's interesting.
That's cool.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, right there. Search your library for an instant with instant or card with flash reveal, put it into your hand and shuffle. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of flip lands. Holy smokes.
Again, it might be just worth going to your LGS and raiding the uncommon section of the binder for just a bunch of these, because again, there's some really, really cool ones like the Strength of the Harvest in enchantment. It gets 1/1 for each creature and or enchantment you control, or it's mana fixing. The same with this Stump thing. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature or planeswalker. Kind of a pseudo fight card. Like there's really, really good ones. This Red Bolt land, destroy target land as controller searches for basic. Creatures with a flying can't block this turn. Great utility in that. Like that's a game ender. Or early game, it's a 3 life. Because in Commander, we don't care about 3 life early game.
No.
Suppression rate, tap all creatures target players control. You may pay X energy counters, don't care. Then choose up to X counters, put a stun counter. That's fine. It doesn't matter. Yeah. I'm a big fan of a lot of how these are.
Even down in the commons, there's a card, Utter Insignificance. 1 in a blue. It's an aura with flash. Enchanted creature loses all abilities and has base power and toughness 1/1, and you can pay 2 in a colorless to exile it.
That's pretty good.
That's really solid for 2 mana at common.
There's one common that I saw that's really, really interesting, and it's called Siege Smash for 1 in a red. It's an instant. What I like about this is the fact that it has split second.
Where's
so
this
one?
It has what card?
Choose one. Sorry?
What card?
Siege Smash. It's in the commons. So it has split second, and you choose one. Destroy target artifact, or target creature gets +3/+2 and gains trample until end of turn.
Gross.
The fact that it has split second, I really like.
I really like that. That's awesome. Split second artifact destruction is phenomenal. Yeah. Again, it really is going to be worthwhile to go rip through some of these cards.
Yeah.
Oh, there's even legendary commons.
Oh, yeah.
Is there?
There is Skoa Ember Mage, 4 double red for a 4/4 legendary goblin wizard. When it enters the battlefield, deals 4 damage to any target, and has an ability called Grandeur. Discard another card named Skoa Ember Mage, sacrifice 2 mountains, it deals 4 damage to any target.
I like kind of scrolling through some of these ones. Some of the art in this, like look at the artwork for Horrific Assault.
Is that the...
Just a common.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
pretty sick, right? The same with Glimpse the Impossible. Look at that. I haven't even read what either of them do, but just the artworks.
Those are amazing.
Those are like
those.
I would want posters of those, like these like horror theme ones.
Mm-hmm. Those two were done by the same artist.
Were they?
Justine Jones.
Justine Jones seems like she is killing it.
Ooh. She did a lot of the book arts from the Baldur's Gate and D&D set, and
that's cool.
Also a bunch of the stained glass ones from that secret lair.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Dog Umbra is pretty cool too. Flash. It's a common again, 1 and a white. Flash enchant creature. As long as another player controls the enchanted creature, it can't attack or block. Otherwise, Dog Umbra gives Umbra armor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Overall, though,
yeah, there's decent set to be honest. I don't like the price point of it. I still think it's a little steep.
Mm-hmm.
If this was a regular set, like it would be a good set. But like you said, Daniel, it's just the price point that is what that hurts the most.
The pre-price of, like I said, the cards, the pre-price of like pre-sale on a lot of these is just absurd. It's crazy, and I don't understand how they think people are going to pay. So maybe it's only me who's fatigued, but like seems like it's a rough time.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people are fatigued, and like at the same time, like Hasbro and Wizards, they're just trying to milk as much money as they can, just because like they know like it's hard times for everyone, especially for companies and anything. But you know, they're just like, we need to pump out as much as we can and get those people that still have money to spend.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like that attitude. So
no, it's to me, it just seems like it is just a lot of product at the moment. Again, it seems pretty decent.
Yeah. I don't know. Kind of like Sherman was saying before we started recording. We're looking forward to Bloomborough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's finally a set to maybe get back to Magic. Let's see if they treat it right.
Mm-hmm.
I hope they do.
True. Yeah. I'm happy to wrap there. We've said plenty about these things for this. Where's my button? There's my button. Thank you guys for getting to the end of this, again, very long episode. If you like what you're seeing, go to our website, into99.com. All our stuff is there, blah, blah, blah. You get it. Lots of great articles, cool stuff. You can see everything we're doing. Check out AI Armor. Very, very cool site. There's going to be tons of new decks to sleeve. So great spot to go get new sleeves. And they're very, very good quality sleeves. AI Armor's been awesome to work with and stuff. So I'm very, very happy. If you want to proxy any of these very expensive cards, go to Abyss Proxy Shop, promo code IT99. And yeah, if you want to support us and you like what we're doing, like, share, subscribe it, give it a good rating and stuff. Tell your friends about it. Like it really does help out and stuff. Even like I said, just even those positive reviews, they help put us up higher so that more people see the show. Then we can do more things with it. So yeah, do that. If you want to go above and beyond that, Patreon's a great spot. Lots of cool conversations over on Patreon and everything, and lots of fun plans for the new year. So that's it for now. That's it. We're bumping.
Be sure to check out our Instagram, Twitter, TikTok as well. We're posting videos up there all the time.
Oh yeah, we do. We are very active on those socials, so go check those out. Yeah. That's it. I'll let it roll for a minute. The minute's done.
All right, later.